Hey, what's up, guys? Marvel Madness here with Sin City Cards and Comics. How's
What's
it
going
going,
on, everybody?
buddy?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, just another day, another dollar, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Happy to be
Hey,
back
so
on.
see who we can get in on this. I invited a few other people, as you know. So if they pop in, they pop in. If they don't, then it's all good as well.
Yeah,
So
we'll go on and carry on and have some conversation and bring some light onto the Marvel card scene and see what you've been buying, see what you've been picking up, and yeah, let's have
yeah,
some
it's
fun.
all I want to do. Hey, so Vegas. It was nice meeting you there. It was awesome,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
for sure. Hanging out and all that.
yeah,
Um, I would say, yeah, it was pretty rough, you know, for a show. It was my third show for this year. So there's TBC. Hey, I sent you a link, TBC. You just got to come in. So that's up to you if you want to join in, buddy. Um, no, so you did pretty good there, right? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
Surprisingly, I mean, the first couple of days were real sluggish. I know a lot of content creators out there were there and saying the same thing. They mentioned the industry summit that was supposed to be pretty big.
Yeah.
I think the prior week, and basically,
What's up,
yeah,
Victor?
they all said that it was not highly seen there, man. So a lot of people weren't there. And then obviously the Las Vegas Card Show that we were at, first couple of days were rough, like I just mentioned, and then the last day was really picked up. So it really hit it off for at least myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but I had a blast the last day there. Picked up a comic that I basically was after one of my grails.
Ooh,
Signed
ooh,
Buck
ooh.
McFarlane there. So
Those who don't know, that's a signed Todd McFarlane issue there.
yep, yep. It was a book that I've been after. Um, it's not the newsstand, but hey, it's definitely for the collection, and then I'll upgrade down the road. So
It's pretty special because it says Tim McFarlane, right?
it
Just
says
kidding.
Tim.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
yeah. No, that's I definitely going to be upgrading in the future, but I definitely wanted to have one in the collection.
No,
Uh,
you're good. It's still awesome. Like it
yeah.
was an amazing price too.
Oh
So
man, it was a steal. It was a
good job
steal.
on that.
Uh, check it
Yeah. The
definitely
only
out in the
thing that
store.
I picked up at the show was this this right here, which
That's
is actually from
sweet.
the 2018 20 or 2019 2020 Marvel Annual. It was Darren Pepe,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's this
nasty.
Wolvie.
Nasty.
Pretty sick Wolvie. I
Yeah.
liked it a lot. I don't buy a lot of sketch cards, but with that one, that was pretty sick. Pretty awesome.
So let me
Victor
ask,
said
let me
Victor
ask
said
you.
that was an awesome book as well.
Yeah, let me ask you real quick. What do you think about sketch cards?
Well, just my honest opinion. Uh, I actually am a little bit artistic as well. So I've actually drawn some sketch cards myself, and I can keep up with some of these sketch cards, at least from this set. Um, but I'd have to say they're not paid enough. Some of the really big ones. I respect artists like Ash Gonzalez, Dre. Li- I mean the ones that have been getting some, I guess, recognition, like Liddy Lee, Peach Momoko. I mean, there's big, huge artists that I don't even know the names of, because I'm not big into sketch cards. But my honest opinion is sketch cards does have a place, but I more so like just the cards in the set. So the ones that are actually designed for that set of the inserts. That's what draws me to Marvel. I don't be like, okay, what's this next sketch card gonna look like? It's more so what the actual set's gonna look like, what the character's gonna look like of that set. That's what I'm into.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to diss on sketch cards because I do respect all the artists and they put a lot of work into this stuff. And that's where a lot of this art comes from on these cards are original art pieces at one point or another, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't have any problem with any reused art of any kind that's not original. That is on a really nice design of a card. I'm not sure. I just picked this one up. This was in a trade. So this
Oh,
is
nice.
the auto version of
Very nice.
Wolverine, the Flareum 2019 Flare. It is numbered. It's 11 of 30. You can see that.
Wow. That is pretty nasty too.
But the art on this, if you look, you can see like the image of his claw, the shadow. I mean, it's a pretty cool card.
And it's numbered.
And it's numbered, yeah. What I don't like about some of these sketch cards is, or not sketch cards, but the actual artist. I mean, this is by E.M. Geist. Okay. So that's who drew this. Not sure who that guy is, but he did do a pretty good rendition of Wolverine. It's not my favorite, but it reminds me of kind of like a masterpiece drawing of it. And I think some of these flare cards were like that. But yeah, like I said, it's not my favorite.
Yeah,
but
definitely
it's still a cool card. Yeah.
Very cool.
Like me, I would rather see something like this. I don't know why I do. It's just I love just that's how I picture Wolverine, right?
Well, from your childhood.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I've always seen Wolverine, with the animated series and stuff. I love when he has big muscles. So this is a pretty cool card. I've been wanting to get this auto version of this for quite some time. And a big shout out to Cards of Metal Ian for making this trade happen. Pretty awesome that I was able to do that.
Yeah, so, very awesome, man.
Pretty cool.
Well, I did want to say in the chat there, we got Jordan and we got Marvelous Packs.
Yeah, Victor's been in there. Appreciate you, Victor. And yeah, Jordan's always good too. So
awesome. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't contain myself. I told you about that box, that Spidey Metal box that I got at the show. So I couldn't contain myself, unfortunately. But and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
Opened it without me.
I know, man. But I got some boxes that I'm putting aside that we could set something up.
Okay, cool.
But are the sketch cards a case hit? Is that a case hit or?
So are you talking out of that set?
Yeah.
So the annual set?
Yeah, I pulled that Chris Foreman right there.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, so out of Spidey Metal, those are more than case hits.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. You're not promised a sketch card.
Okay. But
so
those are the two
they're getting
cards.
more rare, that's for sure.
Nice. Yeah, those are the two sketch cards that I got. The only sketch cards that I have, to be honest with you, in my collection. That's why I brought it up with you, because to me, with sketch cards, I think it's just basically a collector's piece because it's a one of one, right? So it's I don't think of it as an investment because
no.
In order for you to even think that way, you'd have to find the right buyer, right? So for me, they're more of a collector piece than anything.
Well, and that's kind of a good way of looking at it, because if you find an artist that you yourself want a character from, if you're well into the community, you can ask them when a set comes out or before a set comes out to actually do you a sketch card, how you
Yeah, I've
kind of
heard
want
about
it
that.
and envisioned it. And
Yeah,
it's
I've heard
called an
about that.
artist proof. And I've done that before. I did that with one of the artists I kind of fell in love with from the very beginning. His name is Ray Rocho. And I had him do one, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't what I envisioned for sure, because he did more detail in some of the sketches that he's done, and I was picturing all these detail, and it just didn't do it for me. It was still a cool sketch card. I'll show you a couple pictures and stuff, but I did end up selling it, but I sold it for a premium because it was a sick card.
Nice. Yeah, I've
Um
seen this. I've seen this explosion right now. Well, I mean, Peach Momoko has always been, huge as far as sketch cards, and she just blew up now.
yeah,
But Liddy Lee sketch cards. Have you seen any of those?
I have. um I think it's more collector induced
Gotcha.
to
They're
me.
going for big money.
Yeah, they do. And Liddy Lee has earned her spot, and she is a big, well-known artist. So don't don't take this the wrong way at all. It's just what I feel with sketch cards is, like you said, it's a one of one. Where's the value? Well, the value is in whatever a person is willing to pay for that card.
Correct.
Um, and if one of the artists is, big at that time, I mean, they were freaking out about Ash Gonzalez, but then Ash wasn't in this set for some reason or another. I don't know why, because he's still, to me, pretty amazing, like an awesome, awesome artist. But some of the that were is they're getting more of the recognition right now just because the new set. And I think that's why Liddy Lee is getting so much, because she was in this set. Um,
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, right now that sketch card that I got, I took a look at. It's Chris Foreman, and I noticed that Phil Marvel Showcase, he met Chris Foreman. He just put a post out there,
yeah, I saw
and
that.
I was
That
like,
was
"Well, that's
cool.
ironic. I just pulled a Chris Foreman sketch card, so that's pretty cool to see."
Sean Schubert. Oh, that's my nephew. What's up?
What's up, Sean?
That's actually uh Kellen is actually the one probably watching this, but it could be the whole family, my sister and everything.
Cool, cool.
But no, I I actually have a Foreman. It's from 2013 Fleer Retro of Moon Knight.
Nice.
Um and to me, Chris Foreman, some of his early stuff, I mean, where that's one thing that it's interested me, is which one is more valuable, the newer sets or the very older sets that they weren't well known.
Right. Again, that's just what people love, right? It depends on what people want or
The
what they
perceived
perceive.
value of
Yeah, the
that
perceived value of
initial,
that.
yeah,
Me
yeah,
personally, I mean, like I said, when I saw this card, um, it just has so much detail in it. Number
yeah,
one, also it's from Spidey Metal, which is the first Spidey Metal uh, series that come out, so that might hold some value. And I
correct.
don't know if you've noticed this, but look at this right here. Well, it's a bad. Spidey's head is there. I think Chris was having too much fun with this sketch.
Oh, yeah, just kind of where the cookies landed,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that's funny. No, but for all seriousness, sketch cards are great. They have their place. But I would say the more the stuff I like is more into the design of the card, and the thought process, and then the end result. Um, there are some sketch cards that do have layers. I think that's kind of cool. Um, I don't you've heard of Matt and Mick Glebe?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So the Glebe brothers are really well known. They charge like $500 for their artist proof cards, their AP cards, and that's quite a bit. But they could charge more now. I don't know. But I pulled out of Black Diamond. I pulled this Captain Marvel sketch, and it was done by Matt and Mick Glebe, and I sold it for $850, which was good at the time. I think that's still a good price for the Black Diamond. But no, I think when an artist gets recognition from some of the collectors, they can just blow them up.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to Liddy Lee a little bit.
Yeah, and Peach too. I mean, Peach has some sketches out there that are going for a couple $1,000s, right?
But it does help when they're actually good too.
Yeah.
Because you've seen some sketches out there that's like, why is this in here?
Yeah. No, trust me, I've seen some stuff that's suspect.
Yeah.
Kind of like they just threw it on the card and said, "Here you go."
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but
yeah.
overall,
and they probably have so many to do.
No, they do.
You know what I mean? So it gets to a point where,
and they're not paid enough.
Well, and it's got to be difficult too. They don't have a canvas to work on, right? So it's
correct.
Much more difficult.
No, for sure. Well, like Dave Palumbo, he did the masterpiece set of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he actually did big, huge canvas drawings of his cards. Like that's what he started out with, and then they put it on the card. He didn't have to just draw it in that little tiny thing. So, and that's what I guess most cards are drawn from, is actually a big, huge, or a bigger canvas, and then Upper Deck takes that picture and makes a card out of it. That's what I like about the whole design of the cards. I mean, I didn't know what Wolverine was going to look like of this Spider-Man metal set. I just knew he was going to be in it. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I knew it's going to have the high series. So the first appearance, I kind of guessed on that. Everybody did. But I do wish they would have probably zoomed it out.
Yeah, the close-ups for multiple characters that in Spidey set was a little offstandish, a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and don't tease us, Upper Deck. Like they'll sometimes put out, before the set comes out, ooh, this is going to be the art of it, and then you don't even see that art.
Oh yeah, I mean, point taken. The Black Cat, right?
Yeah.
I was looking forward. I'm a Black Cat collector. So.
Well, and Black Cat aside, because that was actually a leaked photo. It wasn't even in the pre-promo stuff. The Wolverine from X-Men Metal, it was the same Wolverine design, similar to the 2015 Fleer Retro Power Blast. If you've seen that card, that was actually supposed to be the art on the X-Men Metal, and it ended up not making the cut for some reason or another, which was interesting. And then there was a beautiful Rogue Planet Metal, and that didn't make it. And it was just the most amazing Rogue card if you looked up the promo for X-Men Metal. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen so many videos out there now that talk about the QC issues and stuff that with Upper Deck, and it is unfortunate. I mean,
yeah,
that set I think will be loved just for the art, but as far as like the quality control of it, it's just a shame because a lot of people are putting hate out there on it. regarding the how much money they invested in it, and to get cards that are not up to par. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. So
Oh, for sure.
um,
Yeah, QC is always going to be a problem. It's funny that you bring that up because it's it's weird how older sets, like just for instance, 1994 Flare and 1995 Flare, whoever they used that year, um, Flare, because that's who had it. It was amazing as far as the QC. Like there was nothing wrong with those cards. They were thicker cards, really cool premium stock. Um, I mean, I sent a bunch of those in for grading, and I got like 3 or 4, 5, 6, I think about 6 10s back
oh yeah, yeah,
because they're really, really good QC cards.
yeah.
For
I
sure.
mean, I think they had printing issues, right? So a lot of stuff had to be pulled back, and they had to rush, and a lot of people were getting antsy, and pre-orders took what over a year to fulfill. So I think they had their hands tied. They just had to get the product out, and they kind of rushed a little bit. Um,
Yeah,
so it is
no,
what it is.
it is what it is. It's all
It is
good.
what it is. I'm looking forward to Masterpiece. I'm a Masterpiece guy. That's what started my journey into Marvel in '92, and with the Juice Go set. And I'm just looking forward to seeing who the artist is. Right? Um, Nobody knows who the artist is, but apparently I've heard through the grapevine that they should be done with all of the art by end of year. So the 2022 set. So hopefully we get that sometime in maybe summer of 2023. Well, who knows?
I'm just throwing this out there, but Ash Gonzalez didn't do this last Spider-Man metal set. And if he's not in the next set, maybe Upper Deck's like, hey Ash, we just need you to
Yeah,
work on this set and this set only. That'd be
yeah,
sick, but I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm curious. I'm
That's a
curious
guess.
to the artist. I mean,
Yeah.
I also heard that uh, Peach might be in the works of doing another set. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the anime too, I'm sure um they'll bring her back.
Yeah,
She was such a big part of that.
yeah. And it's a very underrated set, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
I think her exposure at New York Comic Con this past week. I've seen sales on eBay of that set going for more than it's sold in months. So I've
Yeah.
been eyeing I think there's a numbered card, numbered set that's autographed by her, numbered I think to 149, and those have been going pretty high lately. That
The
weren't going high.
the
Yeah,
anime ones?
yeah.
Okay.
The
The
anime numbered
the
autos.
autographs.
Yeah, the autos, not the sketches.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a Chibi set
Yeah.
that I didn't know about that I found out about. And
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, well, I mean, I saw them, but I didn't know that there were so many tiers. And there's actually
Uh,
like a tier 4 that's really, really super short print. Um, but I'm trying to get as many of the Venom ones
okay.
as you know.
I have a Wolverine, but it's not numbered. Do you have any of the numbered ones? The
No,
numbered little cards?
not the Chibis, no,
Hmm.
no. But they look kind of cool.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. I know I can't, like you say chibis and I say chibis, but like for some reason or another, there's a difference between the capsule. So the ones that come in a capsule, the little card,
Hmm.
versus the ones that are just loose in the pack. Because there's actually a difference, but I'm
Hmm.
not too sure what it is. The only thing I do know is the ones that are numbered usually come inside the capsule.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
one of my buddies got Wolverine and it's numbered to 10.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Um,
the tier 4.
yeah. And there's even one that's numbered to 5,
Oh wow,
and it's
maybe
red.
maybe that's the tier 4.
That
I know
might
there's only I
that
know there's
might be
only
the
four
tier
tiers.
4.
Yeah,
Then
I know
that's
there's
probably
only
the
four
tier
tiers.
4. Tier 3 would be the number to 10.
Hmm.
So, but no, that's interesting.
Yeah,
No, I would have loved to go to New York at the Comic-Con. I do next year. Hope my wife lets me go to like one of the bigger Comic Cons. It
yeah,
would
it's
be
a
so
bucket list.
fun.
It's
So
bucket
fun.
list for me. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking to either go next year to San Diego Comic
Yeah.
Con or New York. Haven't decided yet, but I do want to get one of those out of the way.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
absolutely.
We'll see what
I,
happens.
I mean, the Vegas shows are upsetting. Having
Yeah,
such a big town and such a small following.
sure.
And Dan, the curator, he hit the nail on the head when he mentioned that there just isn't a huge local following like in some markets, right? I mean, you go to
Correct.
Dallas, there's a huge local market that shows up, right? Uh,
Well, and it doesn't help that we're in this uh little dip right now,
right.
as far as the economy goes. And that's a big part of it because the Dallas show a few weeks back, to my understanding, was not a good show at all.
Yeah, that's
And
what I heard.
so I think more so I want to blame it on because, like, if the economy was booming, I don't think we would have had as bad a show as we did.
No, I agree, 110%.
Yeah.
The shows 3 years ago, right, pre-pandemic, were way better than what we saw these past couple of weeks here in Vegas with the Industry Summit and Las Vegas Card Show.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Oh, yeah. No, but it was Vegas and it was
Was
fun.
we did eat some good food,
We did eat some really good food. That is for sure.
minus the pizza.
Yeah, please. I think it was the ketchup, but yeah, keep me away from that
Yeah,
homemade ketchup, whether it was homemade or just old ketchup. Like, that's what happened. It was like, hey, what is this ketchup? Tastes kind of weird.
oh, it's in-house ketchup. They made it in-house.
In house because it was like 3 years ago ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh man. So have you been since you've been back? You've picked up some cool stuff recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I got, and obviously it'll be on my IG, but
Yeah.
I picked up quite a bit of comics. I picked up the Secret Wars 8, a 9.6 CGC dual signed um, by a couple of the artists who did that cover.
Okay.
And then I also picked up a 252 that is also signed by Ron France, I believe it is. But I've just been, kind of picking and choosing what I'm picking up right now with the market the way it is. It's really just checking out all the auctions on eBay, seeing what's out there. Harding a lot of auctions out there to
Yeah.
see where it ends up and seeing if I get lucky because the market's not going to be down forever, right?
No.
History has shown it will be back up again, and we're just in those ebbs and flows that they call them, just like the stock market, just like any market, right?
Well, and just to be completely honest, everything's down. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just one part of the hobby or not. Collectibles in general, NFTs or just any collectible right now, it's just not, the hot commodity. It's more, hey, everybody's holding on to their money, just with this whole possible recession that we're going to be going into. I don't feel it's going to be a full recession. It's just a little dip, but I don't know. you know,
Yeah, I mean, we're
not a,
already in one. If
yeah,
we don't have to go down that path, but
correct.
supposedly 2 straight quarters in a row of negative GDP
Yeah, for
is
sure.
pretty much all indications that we're in one or heading into one. Or,
Yeah.
but uh, when I was in the sports card market heavily, um, it was like this, right? And I think a lot of people out there are trying to wish and pray and hope that the 2019 era, right, where all of a sudden 2019, beginning of 2020, it just explosion occurred with some cards and in the sports card market, and then the PMG market just exploded, right? And
Yeah.
everybody thought that it was just going to keep trending that way, but that's just not how it works because
No.
there has to be a peak for every card out there. And then there's a level out period, right? So the market has to adjust. It can't just keep going up and up and up. Markets have to come back down so that cards create a new threshold of a price so that
Correct.
it can then grow from there a little bit more if it's gonna grow, right?
And that's what's happening. I mean, it's funny, some of the content creators out there that are against our buddy Dan, the great curator,
Yeah,
and always talking about, we told you so, or you know, all this pop culture stuff is just a phase. It's something that just came and it's going to go away. Well, to be honest, the MCU is not going away. Marvel in general is not going away.
nope.
And so anything that has to do with that, whether it's like collectibles like pops or any Marvel merchandise, it's always going to have a seller's market, a buyer's market per se. And
Absolutely.
and so with Marvel cards, a lot of I feel a lot of sports guys that are unfamiliar or not willing to kind of look into it just see the face of it. It's like, oh, well, this is what Marvel cards did is they bumped up and then now they're way down. There's no way I'm going to get into that, type of thing.
Yeah.
Just the mentality, right? It's like,
No, and we saw that too at the show.
yeah,
People walking up to our tables, sports guys, right,
correct.
and asking us, what's this and what's this card, and I don't collect Marvel, but they look really cool. Like, so we're just on the tip of the iceberg right now of
I've been
potentially
saying
getting,
that for a
yeah,
whole
getting
year.
more and more people over. And you did a great job when you were there, educating people and people asking questions and making sure that those questions were answered. And that's what gets the pot stirring, right? It gets
Yeah.
people intrigued.
Well, and you said it as far as the education. Um, we as Marvel card collectors, those who want to go to some of these shows, kind of have that closeness together as collectors, but obviously our pickups that we want to sell, things that we've picked up that we see a little bit of value in. A lot of us have started grading more. A lot of collectors were way against it, and now even we see CGC is in the mix, and that's going to start more and more comic guys to come in. So like, oh, CGC does it now. Oh, I didn't know that, and they want to do the comic to card. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
A lot of us know that it's going to happen, but I don't know. When it all comes down to it, it's a collectible market, just like sports cards, just like Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's here to stay, you know. Um, and it seems like it's getting more popular on different, I guess, platforms. We saw it on IG, Facebook, and then the Discord chats. Getting more and more people coming in. It's like, oh wait, I actually have some of these from when I was a childhood. Like everybody says that, So it's the nostalgic type. But hopefully what Upper Deck is kind of focusing on and what they're saying when this product comes out, it's going to bring in newer crowd, kids, all that. I think they need to market a little different. They actually did market in the 90s, if you knew or not. They marketed on TV about Marvel cards.
Did not know that.
They did.
No, I didn't know that.
And so it wasn't like just Marvel cards. They would do a promo for like I can't remember, Chef Boyardee. They would be like, "Hey, Marvel cards," and they would just kind of bring it in as a promo, but they'll also know that there's Marvel cards out there.
Yeah.
And they did that. It's like, okay, how much money did they have then versus now? Why not do it now? It's like they're focused on just getting these collectors to get their money.
Right.
They say, "Oh, we're going to do these blaster boxes." Well, a little bit that will bring a little bit more, but only because us collectors bring some of these kids, "Hey, there's Marvel cards on the shelves." But you're always going to get those guys that are going to be the flippers, take the boxes, take them off the shelf, send them to the third party. The kids won't even see them.
Yeah.
And so I feel they need to market a little different. And if they marketed just like they did in the 90s, it actually might just catch.
Yeah.
And get more kids involved,
Yeah, well, that unfortunately that's been around, the flippers and the scalpers. Since pandemic era, right? When the scalping ticket scene for concerts and sports venues was hot, right? And then all of a sudden everything closed shop and nobody had any concerts or any games to go to. They all, we got to find something to scalp. Let's go scalp sports cards and all that stuff. So they kind of destroyed hopes of kids in this era trying to find a blaster box of Spidey metal on the shelf. Good luck.
Yeah, no, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I only seen one wave in any store, at least here in Utah. And a lot of Utah stores like Walmart's and Target's, there was only specific ones that got them. And it just depended on inventory of what sold in other card markets. And so it was interesting to see that one wave came, and the wave in Utah came late. Like we were seeing things the first week, or it was actually the second week we were seeing these blasters, right? And it was interesting because all the East Coast got it first, and then it seemed like it came more and more out west. And we didn't get it in Utah until like 2 or 3 weeks after, and we only got one wave because I hadn't seen any other.
Yeah. I didn't even see a wave. It was non-existent.
You didn't go the right Fred Meyer.
Yeah,
you have Fred Meyer there.
No, there's no Myers here.
I thought you did in Nevada.
Not here in Vegas.
Okay, not in Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, there's only Smiths and Bonds.
Okay, all right. Yeah, my sister, the Sean Schubert you see, so Kellen's mom, my sister, she actually went to a Fred Meyer in Idaho, and she was able to get me a box, or
nice.
She got me 3 boxes, so it's pretty nice. And then I found boxes here, but I shared with Scandell because he never found them at all.
Yeah, no, there was here in Vegas. So, I couldn't find them, and I wasn't going to pay $65-$70 online for them.
What's up, Armando?
What's going on? The day will come, man, my friend, when we have just a Marvel card show, right? Hopefully,
Well,
fingers crossed.
I mean, I'd actually even call Culture Collision one of
Mhm.
those shows. I was able to go to Culture's Collision, and there was a lot of Marvel there. I mean, there was just a few of us that really had it, but there was a lot of people there. And it and what's cool about Culture Collision on the advertisements, it actually had Spider-Man, like Spider-Man, in the advertisements of Culture Collision holding a basketball. And
Oh,
so
nice.
it it actually made sense that there was like a presence of Marvel, so that's why a lot of us wanted to go. So I think this next year's Culture Collision, it's actually in January, the end of January. Um,
Is it
if
back in
I can
Atlanta?
make it, that would be amazing. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. I'd have to
Okay.
find out. But that is just like a show that you're saying.
Yeah.
It could in general be that, but they'll still bring in the sports and stuff. Just because I think you're going to get more crowds if you do that. Because if we did an all Marvel card show, I just don't know if the numbers would be there. You know,
Yeah, true. I mean, we're obviously not there yet, but it would be
yeah.
nice. It would be nice to showcase a Marvel show and see the turnout.
Well, even if it's just like a Marvel card Comic Con, like something like
Oh
that,
yeah,
where we're just
absolutely.
showing them. Like, you could still buy if you want, but it would be more of a collector thing. And I think we'll get there.
I think we'll get there faster with a mixture of the Comic Con type of Marvel card show than just a Marvel card show. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and that's why Culture Collision, dude. I think that's gonna be a good one. I wish it was more I wish it was later on in the year because I don't see in January it changing much from what it is now.
Yeah, I was that. I mean, that was. I heard it. I mean, I know that the promoter for it. I think his name
Yeah.
is Prism God.
Yep.
Um, he was at the Mint Collective here in Vegas, and we got a chance to talk. And he couldn't talk about it just yet. That was like before he announced the next one.
But you
But
saw him in Vegas, right? He
yeah,
was in Vegas. Okay.
yep, I saw him there too.
Okay.
But we didn't actually talk at this last one. We actually talked at the Mint. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's looking to double up on what he did before, like not just what he did before, but like make it even better this show around.
Mhm.
But yeah, like you just mentioned about the timing, I would have liked to have seen it a little bit later, maybe
Yeah.
springtime, May, around there sometime, just to see what the market would do in the next 6 months to not
Well,
eight to
even
6 months.
just do it around like at
Warm
least
weather.
at least after taxes, right?
Yeah, that's
Tax
a good
return
point.
season.
That's a good point, man. Yeah.
Because we always see it seems like we always see an influx on sales and all that stuff around that time.
Well, I mean, you saw it at this show, so
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have right now $2,000 to $5,000 to spend on a card. But those that went to the show and had the dollar bins, had the cards that were $100 to $200, right?
Yeah.
People were buying those up,
Correct.
right? And it just adds up. Obviously, it multiplies. But a lot of the big guys bringing the big guns with the big cards, they're not having a good time right now, and that's what
Yeah.
they're being negative about, and they just have to change their strategy a little bit, right?
Well, and the strategy, they have to change that.
Yeah.
Um, I think if everybody knew exactly what to do and had a crystal ball on which cards to do to go grade and all that stuff. I mean, but we don't.
No.
Um, but I was talking to our buddy Phil, Marvel Showcase, just recently. Um, he was gonna jump on here, by the way, if he gets home. Um, he was talking about how anything above $1,000 it's like people are just losing out. Like on if they're selling, they're losing out. If you're buying, great time to buy $1,000 type cards because they're down. But any of the singles that used to be maybe $1 or $2 to $5 are now selling for $20 to $40.
Right.
And so it just depends on which you're looking for.
Yeah, it just depends. Getting a little spam in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna block that. I don't need anybody talking about that stuff.
They tend to come in to all the lives.
Hey, it just means we're doing something right.
Right, yeah, they see a live. Let's go.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Well, I mean, my stack right now is growing, and I just haven't decided if I'm sending. I just gotta separate it out on the CGC stuff and the PSA stuff, right?
Yeah, right. TBC, Nathan. He's like, I was just about to go to that site.
Yeah, I mean, my stack keeps growing, man, and my
well, like when you say your stack, you mean what you're gonna grade? Is that?
Yeah, like okay. I mean, I got
right.
like probably 50, 60 cards already, and probably gonna get closer to 100.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm sending over to CGC is basically PC stuff, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see the market right now. It's too premature. There's not enough data. Sure. I've seen a couple of sales on eBay. I saw Gingy Man put out some stuff on a few cards, and it's selling pretty good. But you know, I'll probably get killed in the comments. But because a lot of people are like, "Well, you're supposed to be a collector, not a seller."
No. You're good. Like when you're saying selling and all that stuff, there's certain collectors that outwardly tell you what they do. I'm one of those.
Yeah.
I actually pick things up. I hold on to them. I grade them. I sell them. Because that's the only way that I can truly collect the Marvel cards I really want, because
correct,
my character is Wolverine. I mean, what do you
mine's
do?
Venom. Mine's Venom, so it's top tier character. So
Nathan,
the big boy cards out there for Venom. I have to do what I'm doing.
What's up, Nathan?
What's going on?
Go ahead and finish your sentence there.
No. What I was saying is that being a Venom collector, I have to flip cards and buy and flip cards to fund my Venom collection, or else I'll be using money that I shouldn't be touching. Right? And I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Correct.
You don't want to keep dipping into your savings account to fund your hobby when you can be flipping cards to get into bigger cards, right? And cards that you really want to add to your collection. That's all.
Well, and I think as long as you keep it separate from your, personal stuff, it should be fine. I mean, if someone wants to open a credit card for Marvel cards to be able to pay for grading or something like that, because I know of others that do that. That's completely okay if you're gonna know where your cap is, but you can't be using, there's our joint credit card, I'm gonna use that to pay for that, and then I'll just get money back from a show. You can't do that.
No.
I've actually heard stories. I think my buddy Ian Taylor from MCCW podcast, he and just history of, he had some credit card debt that he did, and there's a lot of collector stories just like this. But it's easy to get into that, and I think if you're doing it and knowing the result, what you're gonna get out of it, and if you're gonna owe money or whatever, do it, but do it responsible. Have responsibility behind it. So, but I mean, even with my income doing that, I can still pay it off with my income with extra stuff that I have and still live. So, I mean, I'm fine on that. But we still budget. I mean, I think everybody should budget, whether they make $1 million or 50,000 or 100,000. Budgeting is very important. So, but again, I'm not a financial advisor. Please don't take what I say because it's just my opinion.
Listen to Marvelous Madness. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
No, you have to though. Like, I know when that boom happened, there were so many people that did get into a bunch of credit card debt because they were just buying everything they could off the shelves on their credit cards, and then now they can't sell it. We saw that it shows how hard it was for people to sell wax just because of the ridiculous amount of money that they were asking for stuff. Still, it's crazy.
Well, and yeah, you just hit the nail on the coffin as far as if you were to bring in Spidey Metal and EPAC, I'm sure there's people and numerous stories about that where you see a card go up and it's a red PMG for $600 and you're like, that doesn't look like that would be $600 because they're trying to get their money back.
Yeah, they're trying to get their money back because that's the hit in their box, and they think that, well, that's got to be worth what they paid for the box, right?
Right.
And that's not always the case. I mean, so many times with both Marvel cards and sports cards is you have to grade. You have to grade in order to get a lot of your value back out of it. I mean, we're seeing green PMGs sell for next to nothing.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So, and it's because people are just dumping them because they need to get some of the money back so they can pay their rent or buy groceries. And that's not the way to go.
Oh yeah. No, I totally agree. So TVC, have you been picking anything up recently?
Not picking things up. I think Scandale and I finally worked out a trade to get him that gold.
Hey, I love trade stories.
So waiting for him to go through and actually accept the trade, and then let me know how to get him that gold.
Let me know how that happens.
Yeah. Well, I sent him the IG message, so we'll see.
Okay.
But
nice.
I haven't really been picking much of anything up. We got some grades back sooner, like a month sooner than we expected it. So that's one of those unexpected things. Like you budget it to a certain time frame or whatever, and then that hits you a little sooner. So now you're readjusting and moving stuff around, right? Or like myself, selling cards to get into other things. Yeah, we're doing that right now too, just moving some stuff and trying to get into some other things. So you throw a slab up, 99-cent auctions.
Correct.
Stuff that you don't really care what it sells for. It
your
ROI lets you get ready for the next thing. Yeah. So,
well, that's good. I mean, I myself have some money from the hobby, in some sealed product. I did pre-orders for them. I got Fleer Ultra Avengers, I got Marvel Beginnings, and then Marvel Allure. I have pre-orders of all that. I mean, I don't have cases like some of these guys, but
like I think I did one box of Fleer Ultra.
Okay.
Just kind of feel it out. Yeah. So I like the older Fleer Ultra sets. Those are really like the mid 90s.
Oh,
those are my favorite ones from the Fleer Ultra.
Well, and go ahead.
No, we've been doing a lot of the grading from like the early 90s stuff, the Marvel Masterpieces and 94 Flair. So just trying to get a feel for those, seeing how PSA is still grading, because there's been rumors that PSA is grading significantly harder than what they were in the past. I guess they brought out some new AI stuff that's helping them.
No, they're not.
You're serious?
Yeah, they brought in some AI stuff to help them out.
No, me and Sin City know.
Yeah.
We've opened some submissions together.
I know. I got my recent grading submission back, and I was like, "Ouch."
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Nationals one. The special.
Yeah.
The $18 submission.
Oh, you're still waiting for those?
I sent 20 cards, and I did it the very last day you could do it.
So I here's I'll pull it up, see what I got here. So I sent 5 orders in total.
during that
Within,
during that nationals time?
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Um, so I sent 5 orders in total between mid-August to mid-September. So a total of 20, 30, 38 cards in total. One was an express because it was like a Trevor Lawrence downtown, so I had to get that graded and back right away. And we did really good on that. We sold that for like $18.50, so that was awesome.
Okay.
So one of my cards that I sent in, exact same time that I sent a 16 Marvel card order in, it was a baseball autograph card, so it gets graded separately because PSA doesn't put their autographs with anything else. It's still sitting in the review process, and they're on the same grading level. You know, that 30 to 60 day window, and it's on the same grading level, and it's just sitting there in the review process. So there's like no rhyme or reason for how or when your cards get graded when they go in the PSA. There's no first in, first out sort of system. You know, they pull something off the shelf, and that's when it gets graded.
Well, and
So
I can attest to that. I sent one submission of 20 and one submission of 9 within 5 days. Okay. I got the first order back within 3.5, almost 4 weeks.
Mhm.
The next order took 6 weeks.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot more issues, and we brought this up in one of our recent videos, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I'll try to show it. So this is just a sports card. You can kind of see it right there. There's a pretty good finger indent
Oh, really?
in the card that wasn't there when we sent it in. And of
Mhm.
course, we got a PSA 6 because of the damage on the card. So, like, the grader's not taking accountability when they screw up and damage a card.
Yeah.
Then you get a bad grade on it. You know, that sort of stuff it's bad customer service. So I think that's where CGC is going to see that big push in the Marvel market, not only because you compare them with your comic books, but because of the customer service that Sketch Card Hive is trying to implement there
Sure.
in the Marvel market for the cards, and making sure that people are being taken care of.
No, and I feel he's done a great job in that.
Absolutely.
And I think with some of the cards that he sent, that he's had special videos on,
Mhm.
I think that CGC thing with him and Justin from the New York Comic Con, I think that's actually going to give a little bit more recognition as well. If you knew about that, it's on the CGC site right now. But people that are unfamiliar with Marvel cards, knowing that CGC does it now, just like I was talking to Sid City, that a lot of the comic guys might be coming into this because of it.
Yeah, for sure. We got 41 card CGC order, all Spider-Man metal base. Grades dropped today. It's about 50-50 for 9.5s and 9s. We didn't get any 10s, but it's base Spider-Man metal, so not exactly the easiest thing to 10 on. But cards that we can put in the collection and hold on to, some to flip, or just move and get into somebody else's collection. So
and I've been thinking about that too. Sin City and myself. I mean, he's got a stack of 60 cards, so I'm kind of the same way. I have probably 10, 15, 20 Spider-Man base cards that I would send to CGC.
If you think they're going to get a 9, I think, and this is my own personal opinions, I think most 9s can sell for pretty close to the grading fee.
Yeah.
9.5s, you can probably make a little bit on them.
Sure.
Obviously, 10s is where you're going to make the most on them.
Yeah.
But I think most 9s will sell pretty close to what the grading fee is, unless they're the top characters: Wolverine, Spider-Man, Venom, that sort of stuff. But most of that stuff's going to sell 10 to 15, $16. So, and that's your lowest cost option too for any sort of potential grading, even with the price drops at like all 3 of the main companies, SGC, BGS, PSA, they've all done price drops over the past week, trying to compete with each other. And there's none of them are they're still all at least $3 more than what CSG or CGC is.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's the best option if you're looking to grade Marvel stuff,
sure.
just to have it slabbed. So,
Well, and just like Alex said, Sin City, the PC stuff, right?
absolutely,
I would
yeah.
love to send a bunch of my PC stuff in with CGC.
Yeah, and I'm doing the same thing, like my sports stuff. Beckett just did a drop on theirs, so like I've got a small stack of 10 like autographs, low serial number PC cards that I'm probably going to send to them for the subgrades at $22 a card. So I mean, that's not terrible for something that's going to be PC and isn't going anywhere.
Those are
Right.
autos.
Yeah. So like Matthew Stafford
Now, do they
from when he was with the Lions.
do they do authenticate, or you're just
Yeah,
doing
so
the,
Beckett charges an additional $5 for
Okay.
autographs, which isn't bad.
oh no, not at all.
$22 with subgrades, so $27 for anything that's an autograph to have subgrades. And honestly, with Beckett, I don't know why you would send any cards to them and not have subgrades. They're the only company that does it. Well, for sports, I mean, you can do it with CSG, but the resale is just not there for that card. Plus, the Beckett slabs just look great when you're talking about having the subgrades on there, the right cards. I mean, obviously, PSA is still king for resale, but that's one of those things that it's kind of like the market said if it wasn't a 10 and it wasn't a PSA 10, it's not worth anything, right? And that's where the sports world ran into issues, was so many parallels of stuff, and hopefully Marvel can stay away from that.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start doing that, you take away the ability for a base, Wolverine card to be worth anything, and when you have so many different options for grading, you got to take into account, how do you want your cards to look? How do you want them to appeal to other people? We've got that 2011 Stussy Spider-Man. It's in an SGC slab, and it looks fantastic with the black tuxedo around it because it's a white bordered card.
Yeah.
But you take a dark card and you put it in an SGC slab, it looks like crap. Because you can't.
true.
There's no emphasis on the card itself.
Yeah.
So when you're picking a slab, you gotta pick what suits what you want it to be. What your into card is.
And that's where I've looked at my personal collection is which company makes that card look good.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain grades too. Like, for instance, I have that, 30-year anniversary Diamond Relic Wolverine card. It's a PSA 7 is what the grade is.
Right.
I mean, I would love to see that in a Beckett silver slab, which I'd have to get a 9, which I'm okay with, but I don't want like the 8 version where it's like white and it looks weird.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a big jump to go from a PSA 7 to a BGS 9, though. That's tough.
It is, but
Not impossible.
Some of the thicker cards I've seen go from 1 to like up to 2 or 3 grades up.
That's just because the way PSA grades their thicker cards, right?
Yeah.
So this one, we're in Utah, so we know who Zach Wilson is. Anybody that watches football knows who Zach Wilson is. PSA 7. There's nothing on this card that would justify a 7 grade. They graded the auto a 9. Why? I don't have a clue. It's completely on the card. It's not like partially off of the sticker or anything. It's written right on the clear plastic. So this is getting sent into Beckett to get cross graded to have the subgrades. It'll probably grade an 8.5.
Okay.
But that's the thing. They're each company, like you said, they have their benefits.
8.5 is still a silver label, isn't it?
I don't know.
It is.
Yeah,
because there's an 8 that goes white. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'd be okay with that too. I would love.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, the 8.5s are silver labels still.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we actually just cracked a Tom Brady rookie today too. I broke it out of the case. I was like, I'm sending it to PSA.
Okay.
So, and that's the thing is even sports cards or Marvel cards, same thing. with the market down the way it is, you could pick up some nice slabs,
Sure.
relatively inexpensive to where they should theoretically be. I mean, not peak levels, but relatively inexpensive that, you could cross a 9 BGS over into a 9 PSA. And when the market comes back, have a pretty good return on that.
Well, and let me ask you this in Marvel, right? I feel a PSA 9 versus a BGS 9. PSA 9 will win all day long.
It shouldn't, though.
I'm just
right?
saying.
It shouldn't, though.
But if it's a 9 PSA and it goes from a 9 to a BGS 9.5,
Yeah.
you're talking it's higher.
Yeah, for sure. And then, the 9.5 BGS to a PSA 10, the PSA 10 should be higher.
Yeah.
But you see plenty of PSA 10s for any card market that clearly aren't 10 level cards just from the eyeball test. And you can't crack that 10 and send it to Beckett because you're not getting the 10.
Correct.
99% of the time. You're getting a 9.5.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to look at it. I mean,
I've seen some things too where this last submission that I got back from PSA, which is kind of my strategy going forward, is not sending so many cards at once type of situation, right? Not sending 70 cards, maybe breaking it down into 20, 20, 20, and maybe 10, right?
Or
that
9.
bill adds up quick when you're sending,
I
so
sent
many
a
cards.
9 once, like a random 9, and over half of them were PSA 10s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like-
definitely don't try not to send the same card on the same submission either, because they'll compare them against each other.
Well,
Absolutely.
I did that
Yeah.
in my last submission, so I'm gonna just see what happens.
Yeah, I think sometimes you get better results with the smaller submission size than a large one, because the large one, they're just like, oh, I don't want to do this. And they kind of just move them through. Here's your 9, here's your 9, here's your 9.
Yeah.
And then we get them back and we're like, what's wrong with this card?
No, I had the 70 cards, I think 50 were 9s.
Yeah.
Right? I think I had like maybe 10 10s.
Yeah.
And the rest were 8s, 7s. But I mean, you're exactly right. It's just that guy gets the whole stack of them and just wants to blow right through them. You never know. Not to say that that's happening, but it's obviously a possibility. And also, I was submitting them through a group submitter. So who knows how many cards were on top of my 70 that were sent on that submission, right? So I think I'm going to just take what your advice was, Nate, and create an account with PSA. And
it's only $100.
Yeah.
$100 compared to, currently they're at, what is it, like $18 a card or something like that? If you send in at least 20 cards or something.
Is it $100 a year, or is it just $100
$100 a year?
Okay.
It's $100.
$100 a year.
$99.
But I don't know what the current public offering is for grading costs. Do you know, Alex?
I know before you had to be like a specific tier, and then you had to be on a lottery to submit.
For the public offering still?
Yeah, public. I don't know if they've opened the floodgates now.
So I know when I signed up for my PSA subscription, it was $50 a card at the time. I think they just wrapped up the lottery stuff, and they had dropped it down to $30 a card for the members. That's $20 difference. 5 cards, and I paid for my subscription for the entire year.
Absolutely.
And I still get the benefits that they
I
have.
remember when you did that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's $99. I mean, even CGC you got to pay to have the annual
I think
membership
they're
or
$25
whatever.
or something like that.
Yeah. But when you sign up and you pay that first year, you get $150 grading credit.
Right.
So, I mean, you pay $125, you get $150, so you're really only getting $25. But it still works out.
You talk about the CGC?
Yeah, CGC when you first sign up.
Correct. Yeah, I did that. I signed up to do one of my comics, and I waited almost a whole year, and I'm like, I gotta send this before I have to pay another amount.
Yeah.
But that was before they did Marvel, so I think I gotta redo it.
That's another thing that I have on my plate to do is submit a whole stack of books that I have in this long box behind me.
Yeah.
There's quite a few comics that I have that need to be graded.
Yeah. Some collectors, they just got me into some of these comics. I don't know what to do.
Those guys will do that to you, huh?
Yeah. And even with me with Marvel, I've picked up I picked up a John Cena autograph a while back, and I held on that for a little bit. I was like, oh, this might be PC. But then I brought it to the show in Vegas, and then I saw this Marvel, this Wolverine sketch card, and I was like, I'll trade it.
Yeah. I'm
Gotta
all
do
over
what you
Ahsoka
gotta
right
do.
now from Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars? Yeah.
Well, Ahsoka Tano, she's got a series coming out next year. She's exploding as far as value. So I'm picking up all of her autographs. Let me see here. Yeah, here she is. I had that at the show. So that's Ashley Eckstein. That was the voice on the animated Clone Wars that they did.
Okay.
This is numbered at a 25. It's a pop one, none higher. No one's going to
Nice.
grade the other 24.
Yeah.
So when this show blows up next year,
Okay.
I might be moving that for a bigger Marvel card.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, Vintage Lord, Canada, he said, I wonder how the Jambalaya cards will look in a CGC slab. He's like, I'm going to send a Kingpin Jambalaya to do a test run.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because obviously it's more of like a die cut card, right? So
Yeah.
who knows how they'll keep it in place. I've seen some nightmares with PSA slabs where you have the little minis and they just slide around, right?
Well, what was that whole deal? I saw a post about the Grandiose card. Someone did a CGC post, and they had a Grandiose card that they submitted, and then regular base that they submitted. The Grandiose card was sleeved, but the other card wasn't on the base cards.
Yeah, I don't know what qualifies the sleeve. I've seen them with and without.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it weird because you'd figure if they did it with one, they should do it with all, right?
I mean, I've seen them with PSA. I've seen them with the thicker cards.
Yeah. But for me, the thicker cards, if you're looking to cross grade, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of a risk, in my opinion, those thicker cards and those sleeves, because it presses down on the corners.
Correct.
When they encapsulate those cards,
True. Yeah.
which could hurt you if you try and crack it out and send it to another grading company.
Yeah, and that's when I've teetered on my my Diamond Relic Wolverine card. Is like, it looks good in the slab. I mean,
yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff.
Can't really do it. So we'll
What were
see.
you trying to show, Nate?
Oh, I was just trying to see if I can get this other camera set up. I was going to show you guys the cards I got back
Oh,
from PSA.
nice.
Did you get it started or no?
Yeah, it's just all kinds of reflections. So, what would it make a difference if I went like this and showed them, or if I did that? Yeah, because after the show, I took like the GoPro and everything down that I usually use for my card cam.
Oh,
it all
yeah.
came down so that way I could bring it to the show and stuff. And I just haven't set it back up yet.
I haven't set it back up yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I can still show them.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
So here, where was I think I got the really bad one in the middle. But so we got the 92 Universe Spider-Man PSA 8.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's from 2013 Flare Retro?
No, just 92.
Oh. I was like, is that the Flare Retro one?
I can't afford retro, man.
Retro, man.
How rich do you think I am? I'm not rich.
Hey.
I did okay at the show in comparison to our Utah
shows. All you gotta
shows,
do is find someone's collection.
All I need is somebody to buy my Vision Green.
Buy their collection.
Yeah.
We got Jordan
geez.
in here talking about a low series red PMG if I'm interested.
Ooh.
Jordan, hit me up on IG, sir. I might be interested on that card if you're still watching.
Is that Venom?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Venom.
the low series.
Nice.
I don't have any.
Oh,
of the red-
yeah.
yeah.
Googly
I have-
eyes.
What's that?
Googly eyes Venom.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hey, I like the low
that
series
card,
Venom.
I'm never going to be able to see a difference now.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. It's
now it's like right in my face as I look at it.
That's funny.
So these next ones are a couple of 94 flares. You might like this one. Oh, see if I get. Oh, there we go. We got the PSA 8.
That's in the mail. I got one coming in the mail right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ungraded, so we'll see the condition when it gets.
I think I submitted one and I got a 9.
Yeah, I got a couple more of them, but they weren't in as good a condition. So that was probably the best one that I had. So I was like, I'm going to send that one. At least get it encapsulated.
Nice.
Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
Oh, come on. I got to figure out this backwards camera stuff. There we go. PSA 8 on that one, too. 93 master.
Now,
93
did you pick these up? Or were these partly from?
These are all opened.
Me?
I opened these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So some of them are from that box that was bricked that we did the video on how to debrick your cards.
Okay.
But the 94 Flare was the box that we opened on one of our live streams.
Okay. All right.
So PSA 8, Spider-Man 2099.
Nice.
Start a little Spider-Man 2099 collection there.
I got a PSA 10 of that flare if you want.
Yeah. Captain America, PSA 8. We did have this one in a 10, but had sold it previously.
Yeah,
so.
I think I remember you seeing or doing a post on that.
So I mean, they're just awesome cards, and these look good in a PSA slab. So not this one though. This one looks terrible. And I think it's just the card looks terrible. 93 Masterpieces Spider-Man.
Yeah.
PSA 8.
See, I got that in BGS.
Just glancing
9.5.
at it, for me, just glancing at it, you don't even notice that Spider-Man's on the card.
Yeah, no, me neither.
It's awful. You said
it
you
looked
got that
like a
BGS 9.5.
Looks like Spider-Man or spider legs, right? It is spider legs.
That's all it is.
That's all I see.
Yeah, that's all you can focus on.
Yeah.
So, but that one there, so that one and these next two kind of go with the last three.
Okay.
So we got the Venom, PSA 8.
Okay.
See if I can remember how to keep the glare off of it somewhere in there. There we go. That's just an awesome card. Probably one of the best cards in that set.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the best card in the set, 93 Masterpiece Wolverine. So
is that
that's not a shot? That's not a shot at your guy, Alex. It's just the truth. Then this was our worst grade. PSA 7.
Truth.
PSA 7, 94 Flare Spider-Man.
7.
And I looked at this one and I compared it to the 8s, and when I get them back and I don't get a 10, or if I don't get a 9 on a card that I think should have got a 9, I'll try to find something with the magnifier. And honestly, I can't find anything with this card that makes it any different than the 8s.
Just froze up for a second.
Yeah, it's my internet here. It sucks.
You're good.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you got
on fire.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
It doesn't have the subgrades. I saw it on eBay, and I had to pick it up. The price was just too good on the
that's neat. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we got 94
such a
Flare
nice card.
Wolverine with Hulk and the Blades.
Beautiful.
Wow.
PSA 9 on that one.
That would go great with the comic.
That's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was a good one. I was happy about that because the 94 Flares, I just expected those to get 9s. I didn't expect anything else out of that, just because they do. I know you were talking about that earlier. The QC on them was pretty good. It's that thick card with that weird coating on there.
But you didn't get any 10s?
Not a single 10. Not a single 10 on this
weird.
Edition. I know. And
that's to me, that's weird.
Because usually when I know cards that are going to get 9s because I'm very, very picky with the cards I send in. So like the 94 flares getting a 9, I was okay with all of that.
Now you wiped those cards, right?
Oh yeah, because
Okay.
they get that weird
It-
film on
no,
them if they sit too
correct.
long.
Power Blast, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, the power
Yeah,
blasts
for
are
sure.
the
Oh, the
worst.
power blasts are terrible for
They're
that.
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
then
how
we
I got 9s on those.
Yeah, we got the Maximum Carnage
Mm-hmm.
94 flare with all 3 of them on there.
Oh,
We
nice.
got that in a PSA 9.
That's a classic.
That's
card.
pretty sweet.
Those are cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Deadpool PSA 9 94 flare. This art's just weird. It's like CGC animation
Yeah.
on some of them. So we got those 3 PSA 8s, the Spider-Man, the Venom, and the Wolverine. We sent doubles of each of those cards.
In the
We got
same
9.
submission?
Same submission. Yeah.
Okay.
We got a 9. So don't do this. If you're out there watching, don't do that.
Yeah, didn't you just say not to
Yeah.
do that?
I know. And I did it. I did it anyway. I goofed and I didn't send cards that I wanted to send. Like I have the Silver Surfer of these, of the 93 masterpieces,
Mhm.
but it's the error where it's missing the coloring
Oh, yeah.
for the name and the card
Correct.
and the set.
Yeah.
And so it looks like a Silver Surfer sketch card.
It's the one Norn posted the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to save that and send that one to CGC now.
Yeah.
So, because I think that would look really great because their cases are just amazing, just crystal clear, you know. Then we got the Venom in the 9 as well.
Nice.
And we got the Wolverine in a 9. So we got all those in. We got those 3 cards in 8s and 9s. So now I need to get them in 10s, and then I got to work the countdown and get all the way down to 1s. I got to figure out how to get a 1 at PSA.
Yeah. Well,
So I can have 1 through 10
you guys
in
know
the
I'm
same
trying
3
to.
cards.
You guys know I'm trying to do that on a card, right?
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I was trying
Nice.
to do it with, I think, the 90 MU hollow, right?
No.
No, not that one.
Not that one. I do have a 9, 8, and 7 of that 1993 Series 2 Wolverine hologram.
Mhm.
But which card I want to do is the Jim Lee art of the 1992 Series 1 X-Men, the Wolverine where he's like going right for you. It's the one I have the Jim Lee auto on. But I have a 10, a 8, a 7, and now I need to like send some like lower grade ones so I can get a 6, a 5, a 4.
Right? You need to send them to them in like an 8 condition and just give them a note, pay them a little extra, be like mess these up just enough so I can get a 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, do what you did to my buddy and just do a big imprint with your finger,
Yeah, just
and
kinda-
it'll be a PSA 6.
absolutely. I don't understand that. It's just like
That's funny.
it's awful.
No, but I think
do
that'd be
ask.
sweet.
Do 6237 said the low series
No.
Wolverine neon green better in a CGC slab or SGC visual appeal. I paraphrase what he said there. Which way do you think it would look better?
Well,
I would say CGC because you compare it with the
comic.
the comic. Yeah. I would. I mean, I want to just do that to the base card. I
Right.
want to send like 2 or 3 of the base card, see if I can get a 10 on one of them,
Sure.
and then do that with the base card.
I still
mean,
think they should.
What I really want to do is put a note. I was like, hey, CGC, if this is a 10, will you, instead of putting a 10, just put a 9.8?
I was just gonna say that they need to offer that. Like, I'll pay $5 more to have it say 9.8.
I know.
You know, just so it matches the book.
Just do a 9.8. That's all
Let
you
me.
got to do.
It's my card. Let me do what I want.
So I was gonna ask that to Sketch Card. I wanted to at one point. Is I thought that's what set CGC apart, was that type of grading scale. So I always thought why they didn't do Marvel cards is because they were trying to figure out if they were going to go the sports route where they were going to do the sports grade side, or they were going to go with the comic side. I wish they would have just went with the comic side, but I don't know.
Yeah, that gets really tricky though to try to grade
It
a
does.
card and the difference between a 9.5 and a 9.8, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're talking like to go from a 10 to a 9.8, legit. That's such a minimal
But
error card.
They could have did a little bit what BGS does, as far as a black label 10, right?
Well, they do. I mean, you get the perfect 10, and then you have the pristine 10, and then you have 9.5.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
CGC could have done the 9.8 like
the
that.
pristine 10 could have been a 9.8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
You know, they could have went that route because that's essentially a pristine 10 in a comic book is a 9.8, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you get a 9.9, oh my god.
It's like 5 or 10x.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Well, that's what the difference between some PSA 8s and PSA 9s are. You know, you
Right.
see that big bump, and even with a PSA 10, you'll even see a bigger jump.
Yeah, but I think what happens there is you end up with a company that grades so many different things. Then now you have a grading scale for for Marvel, so it can match the books, and you have a grading scale for TCG stuff, such as Pokemon. How do you grade that, right?
Yeah.
You have to put it on the sports card grading scale because there's not
Correct.
comic books to match that up with.
Yeah, and that's probably what they did at the end is they just didn't see the value in the other way.
Yeah, because I know they when they revamped the way they graded their cards and how they were going to scale them, they were saying people with an older 9.5 could send them in and get it reholdered into the pristine 10, basically at like a $5 charge. You know, as long as the card still justified that grade. So because that's essentially what they were using before is you had the perfect 10 and you had the 9.5. And then when they adjusted their scale, that 9.5 became the pristine 10.
Here's the game changer for you guys. PSA comes out with subgrades.
They won't do it.
I don't know.
No.
They'll come out with a 9.5 before they come out with subgrades, and they're not going to do that.
Well,
I like what Neil was saying about
they don't have to, right?
Yeah, they don't have to.
They don't
not-
have
it's
to.
not a
They already
game.
they already
That's
have the everybody drinking the
market
Kool-Aid.
share. Yes, Spidey Hits
Yeah.
talked about it today on his live, and I mentioned that PSA will always dominate because they have the market share, because they're doing 1 million plus cards a month when everybody else is doing 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 cards a month, right?
Yeah.
And this is all companies below. So PSA, nobody will ever come close to them. They can do whatever they want.
There's too many personal collections out there with PSA.
Yep.
Yeah, Neil was talking about it earlier in the week on one of his videos too. Like the one thing you'd like to see each grading company change, right? SGC go with a little bit skinnier slab so they can actually fit in all the cases, because it wouldn't take much to skinny that slab up a little bit, and there's enough room you can still have a tuxedo. You know what I mean? Because PSA's they basically got that frost that goes around their case, and it would just be a skinnier tuxedo is all it would be.
Is the CGC slab is it smaller than the PSA?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit, I think, but they're relatively the same as far as how they look. Like, I don't have a newer CGC slab, and I'd have
The
to dig out.
CGC slabs are more round, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking half a centimeter.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
still
You can see
quite a
poking
bit.
over the top there.
Yeah.
The back card is the PSA card, so about a half a centimeter.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a more pronounced rounded edge on it. I think Neil was saying something about like seeing Beckett completely get away from cards that don't even have subgrades on them. It's like, that's not your thing. People send to you for subgrades, just only offer subgrades.
Have you seen? Is there a CGC sideways slab?
No, HGA does it though.
I know HGA does.
But the problem with it is you can't put it into a normal case. It doesn't fit right. Right? Because it's more of like, it's almost like a
oblong.
It's not
That's weird.
square,
Yeah.
but it's almost square. so it doesn't fit into a normal case the way like you can't just stack it into your 3800 Apache and have a whole bunch of cards right in a row.
Hmm.
Because it essentially turns into about like this much space,
Correct.
because the card's sideways and then you have the label at the top.
It's just with I don't know. It just makes sense on some horizontal cards, but
Because you can display them the way they should
yeah,
be, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would love my Jim Lee auto slabbed differently, the in a horizontal case. I think it'd look pretty cool. But I didn't know if CGC was doing that. I thought I saw one on a sample that CGC did, but that was a while back. I saw like advertisements of it before they started integrating the Marvel cards and such.
Right.
Hey guys, I hate to cut it short on you guys tonight.
Hey, you're good.
I gotta take off.
I
Marvel
better
Madness,
get going
thanks for
too.
having me on, man. Nate, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
TBC.
Good seeing you again.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
we'll catch you later, and I think we'll just sign off
Yeah,
for
sounds
the
good.
night. So, okay, guys, you guys have a good one. Glad we could
who
get
grades
together and talk
booklets?
about this. Oh, go ahead.
Do 6237. Who grades booklets?
Grade booklets. I don't think
Good
anybody
question. I have
does.
one that
Beckett probably. I think Beckett does because Beckett does the oversized holders. So that's probably who I would send booklets to.
So I did.
Because they do custom. They'll do.
There
custom
are some
sized
custom
holders.
frame companies that do it
Mhm.
because I had my printing plates done.
Yeah, those there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd probably send stuff like that to Beckett.
yeah,
Just because most of the time they're a thicker card anyway.
sure. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna end the broadcast. Just stay on for a second, Sin City.
Yep.
We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night,
See
guys.
you guys.
Thanks for
Have a good
joining
night.
us tonight. We'll see you.